Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will continue our reading of a story about a woman whose husband allowed his mother crashed their intimate getaway that the woman paid so she ditched him. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend watching it on our channel first to fully understand the story and its progression. Let's get started. Update 2. I have spent the past month focused on myself and my therapy. I did talk to 2 different divorce lawyers, and I have a good idea of what to expect if I were to pursue divorce. About a week after my update, I talked to my husband about separating our finances. He was shocked and unhappy that I am taking these steps. I reminded him that how I spent money has become a big issue for him, so this ought to make him happy. It didn't. I have moved my paychecks and savings into a new account at a different bank. I offered to him that we split the house payments and bills 50-50. Though he makes a lot more than me, I do make more than enough. He said he disagrees on the separating finances and he's not going to make a move on that. He isn't taking me out of what are now his accounts. Since I am the only one who usually makes the bill payments, he wants me to continue handling that. He still feels that I am blowing up a minor issue. I admitted to him that I have talked to divorce attorneys to see what my options are, and that shook him up. He was pretty angry with me and very hurt, and that did make me feel bad. He wants us to go to marriage counseling, and I want that too. The situation with my mother-in-law isn't getting any better. I didn't give a background on that in the last few posts I made, but mother-in-law has become a bigger issue since father-in-law passed away 2 years ago. She was always difficult and didn't like me from the start, but things have become much worse since she's lost her husband. We have a spare guest room, and she'd frequently come and stay the night if she ever got into any minor argument with father-in-law. She has keys to our house and would just show up and sleep in the guest room as if it were her room in our house. These overnight stays became more frequent since father-in-law passed. She mostly spends time with my older sister-in-law and has moved next to her and practically lives with her, but when she gets upset there, she'll come sleep at our place. Now, along with separating finances, I had decided to move out of the master bedroom into the guest room. My husband is not happy about it because he doesn't want me to leave. Mother-in-law is pissed that I have taken over what she thinks is her room. She wants me in the kids' room instead. Since this is my house too, that is not happening. She has had many tantrums about me living in her room. My husband has asked her to knock it off and told her to give us space while we deal with our issues. He's asked her not to come to our house unless invited, and that brought on a new storm. She came by a couple of days ago while my husband was at work and told me she's looking forward to me leaving. She told me about women she's lining up as potential dates for my husband as soon as he starts dating, and how they are so much better than me. She mentioned 2 of the family's friends' single daughters, Amy and Beth, fake names, who've always had a crush on my husband according to her. I know these women. They are nice. I have nothing against them, and I could only roll my eyes at her trying to make me jealous. I told her Amy is very pretty, but my husband is an ass man, so she should go with Beth, and I got such a kick out of the shocked look on her face. Later, when my husband came home, he wanted to know why his mom is telling everyone that I admitted to being a lesbian. I could hardly breathe. I was laughing so hard. I told him what his mom was saying, and he was pretty pissed. He called and yelled at her and has banned her from our house, so at least I have that going for me. Final update. My husband and I have come to an agreement about our future, and I am writing this down for you awesome people who have commented and helped me. We went through marriage counseling and individual therapy for both. A lot of issues with regards to how we communicate were brought up. We had been drifting apart for the past 2 years, and a lot of it was due to father-in-law passing away and mother-in-law, who had completely relied on him, clinging on to my husband. Then there were issues with work and the stress of managing two very young kids. While we addressed many issues in counseling, the two main ones were mother-in-law's interference and our sex life. Regarding mother-in-law, my husband has been dealing with a lot of guilt and frustration. He was close to father-in-law and devoted to him but dislikes his mom. After his dad's passing, he felt like he had to take on his responsibilities, something that mother-in-law guilted him into. One of the major responsibilities is managing mother-in-law. Mother-in-law's whole personality lately has become fixated on me. It's nonstop, all the ways that I am wrong, and she's smart enough to be both subtle and overt about it with everyone. She's been relentless, and I have no idea what she's got against me that she'd go so far and work so hard to put me down. I suppose my husband has been continuously exposed to it so much that what she says has become reality to him. Regarding our sex life, my husband was both flabbergasted and upset that I am now seeing his criticisms as abuse. He explained that he's always been very happy with our sex life. Early on in our relationship, he found that if he ever said something about, "Hey, let's try this," I'd sit and analyze our fun times, and he found that a major turn-on. I am an analytical person by nature, and it's practically my job to evaluate and write reports and recommendations. It became like a kink for him to watch me do a detailed discussion with him post-sex. He did not realize how much effort I was putting into this, because to him, it was just a fun thing we did. None of this made me happy with him, and the realizations from counseling made me feel that I won't be happy in this marriage. We were living as roommates in the same house, and I had stopped doing a lot of stuff I used to do for him, both at home and with regard to his work travel and social engagements. For his part, he did acknowledge that he had been unfair to me, and he had become so used to me doing everything that he had been taking it all for granted. Then he proposed to me that we start all over again, stay married, but start dating each other again and rebuild our relationship from the ground up. He managed his work situation so that he can elect to relocate to a new place about 8 hours away from where we live, and we restart everything together without family influence. I agreed to that, but I was skeptical about whether he'd move and leave mother-in-law behind. When she found out about the possible relocation, she blew up and tried hard to get my husband to change his mind and stay close to her. Even my sister-in-law came to talk to me to convince him to stay, because otherwise, mother-in-law was losing her mind and did become a much bigger challenge for her. We did move, though, and my husband has kept his word, and things have been pretty nice with him for the past couple of weeks. Since I work remotely, moving wasn't a problem with my job. I am going to stay out of putting effort into his career, though, and focus on mine instead. Oh there, then my own full-time job and being a parent who does most of the work and managing the house, I was also doing stuff like his damn personal assistant, and I am so over that. My husband has been very supportive with everything and is making more of an effort to be the one who plans things with the kids and dates with me. And that's the end of this story. What do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you guys on the next video.